Okay, what is up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Stephen Ryan back for another video, and I am genuinely so happy to be back. Oh my god. It has been a long time. It's been a good little while. I did a little stream where there was like a little mini update sort of thing, but I'm properly kind of back now, we'll say. So yeah, there's been Jesus Christ, there's been a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff to catch up on. I don't really know kind of how much I want to go into, like exactly like what kind of happened in the interim. Just kind of basically know that it's done, it's over with now, it's not going to be happening again. So yeah, that's the main kind of takeaway, I guess, right? So yeah, okay, wow. Yeah, all right. I mean, like, I guess just kind of just like jump straight into it, right? Yeah, there's been a good lot of stuff happening. I kind of feel like even though this actually wasn't one of the things that I had initially kind of planned on talking about, just trying to bring up my notepad there. I do kind of want to talk about just kind of like even kind of briefly. It's a show that I had talked about on the channel before. Which is like based off of one of like my all-time favorite games. Hello. Uh, which is The Last of Us, right? There's been so much fucking like hate and stuff like that, and I like around season two, and I just feel like so much of it is just like unnecessary and unwarranted. I mean, like, does Bella Ramsey look like Ellie from the games? No. Is that a problem? And should it be a problem? Also, no. It doesn't really kind of matter, just like as long as the acting and stuff like that is on point, and as long as like, like like Bella is doing the job, like that's all that really kind of matters, I guess, right? But yeah, no, I mean, because I was kind of scrolling through TikTok before I kind of gotten here, and there was enough sort of stuff like there was somebody who was like basically saying that like she had quit like all kind of social media because of the kind of backlash she had gotten off it. And listen, it's not even as if like people are saying like, oh, that like it's like bad acting or bad performance or this or that, whatever. Like it's all to do with just her looks, and it's just like it's just really just like fucked up to me. Like, why would you do that? Like, look, because like you can think that Bella is conventionally attractive, you can think that she is not, you can think that she's, that she looks this way, that she looks that way, like whatever, right? But like just because she doesn't look the same as a video game character, and listen, I can kind of not even necessarily understand, but I kind of do like have to almost give like a pass to people who are saying that she doesn't look like how Ellie did in season two. But people were saying the same stuff about season one, and let's just for anybody who doesn't understand or who hasn't seen it or who doesn't play the game or hasn't seen season one or anything else like that. Bella Ramsey is supposed to be portraying a 14-year-old girl. Like, why are you concerned that she's not hot enough? That's really problematic. Like, that says an awful lot more about you than it does about anybody else. Like that's really bad. So anyway, that's just a little. It's just a side note. It's just something that I seen whilst I was, just kind of waiting for the time to go live, and I just kind of felt like I just had to kind of get that out there. Anyway, on to more kind of not necessarily pressing matters, but on to kind of what we're kind of here for. So Trump has now been in office for a full 100 days. And he did an interview to celebrate the 100 days. No, not really celebrate it, but just at the 100-day mark, an awful lot of presidents have done it before. They'll do like an address, or they'll do an interview, or they'll do something just to kind of mark the fact that 100 days have gone by in their new term. Trump did one before. Biden did one most in the last presidency, and now Trump has done one again. It didn't go very well. It was like honestly, it was fucking weird at certain times. Like genuinely, really fucking weird. We're gonna be looking at one of those right now. Um, and it's just the very idea to me that this man has. Listen, you have to understand. This man has already been president. He was president for 4 years. He's going to be president if his health kind of sticks with him for the next 4 years, right? And even though it is the 3rd of May, it already feels like 4 years have happened. It's mental. So B2B, you're a really dumb individual. You really, 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 really are. Because you're obviously now part of that fucking group that was there, that was doing this. Do you not know that I know who you are? That I know that I know like exactly who you are, and that your school knows exactly who you are as well. I wasn't even going to get into this. I wasn't even going to mention it. I was just going to let this slide. Like your school knows exactly who you are. So like seriously, seriously, what is wrong with you? Anyhow, so he did an interview just to kind of celebrate 100 days. And we're going to be kind of going over some of the kind of clips that came out over it and stuff like that. And that's all, you know, we'll comment as we're going along. Okay, so he said that like there was like hard times ahead and everything else like this, right? And that's all, you know. I mean, like it's not necessarily that it's fine, but when he's talking about hard times ahead, I don't know if there's anybody in his like administration that's like telling him that like, you know, like that like tariffs are a tax on imports and that is going to affect like average kind of everyday working Americans. And that like he's just still kind of peddling the idea that no, that the country that he's putting the tariffs on, that they're the ones who pay the tax. I don't know if it's like that like he's just continuing to say that just to kind of save face, because he's been the one that's been saying that for months now. And this is exactly what I was talking about. He's already been president, right? He was a businessman for like how many fucking decades before that, and he doesn't know what a fucking tariff is. Like he has zero understanding of what a tariff is. If he genuinely thinks that it is just a tax on the country that the product is coming from, or that the like good or services is coming from, you're an idiot. You're a complete another fucking moron. Like I'm sorry, it is crazy. It's crazy. It's absolutely monumentally, it's just completely and utterly stupid. It's crazy. And also, I mean, like the price of gas, like it varies based on like state to state, and based on like what like certain kind of states are like up to, or not necessarily up to, but like what they're doing, and like how much kind of like trade and stuff like that is kind of coming in and out of the state. Like that's going to cause the price of like of gas to kind of fluctuate and stuff like that. So like it might have just kind of caught it in like a downward like curve, but again, there is like very, 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 very little that a president can do that actually like that directly affects the price of gas. So I mean, like it's Yeah, it's crazy. Like this is what I'm saying as well. Like he genuinely thinks that the country is going to eat the cost of 145% tariff. Why on earth would they do that? Literally, why would they do it? It is not I mean, like you can like take out China and you can put in the fucking US. You can put in any country. You can put in any one business. It literally doesn't like it just doesn't make like logical sense. It literally just doesn't make any fucking logical sense. It is insane. It's insane to even suggest that this is going to that the tires are going to be eaten by the like it just like just logic. It just doesn't read as right. It doesn't like sound correct. Why would they do that? It is literally not in their best economic or fucking capitalistic fucking interest to do that. It is completely and utterly fucking stupid.
From us $1 trillion a year. They were ripping us off like nobody's ever ripped us off. And by the way, we have other countries that were just as bad. If you look at the European Union, it was terrible what they've done to us. Every country, almost every country in the world was ripping us off. They're not doing that anymore.
But yeah, I mean, like again, like ripping us off, yeah, but like ripping off in what way, right? Like, see, this is like Trump thinks that like trade deficits and there's like the like trade imbalance is like necessarily a negative thing, and it's like but like not necessarily though, because if you have a company in your country, right? Just input what country you're in, right? And it's or you have like a sector, right? If you have like a farming, sector, or like just like a more kind of broad kind of agricultural sector, or if you have, like tech or like any of these sorts of things, if you are producing, right, a product that is like that is surplus to the amount of customers that you have in your home country, and you have that excess that is left after kind of servicing people in your own country. Like to to then be able or to then have the ability to then sell to other countries, it's a fucking good thing because the product is still made. So, so like, what's the alternative? If you have just like a bunch of leftover products, what, you just let it go bad? You let it just fucking like if it's food, you just let it rot. It's just stupid. Of course, you would sell it to different countries, especially if they're going to pay you for it. Now, what they might pay you for it versus what the people in your own country might kind of pay you for it, like that's like a different, like that's a conversation that can be had, and there can be different there can be trade agreements there, but to say that like they're like in what way? See, this is the thing. Trump just says things. He just like he makes statements. He makes a statement, and it's like they're ripping us off. In what way? In what way? Like, I'm a big enough fan of Destiny. There's one or two takes that I completely and utterly disagree with him on, but he had said that he had put a challenge to any conservative that if they show him like a clip of Trump speaking about a policy position coherently, that he will give them like a cash prize or something like that. And literally nobody has ever been able to fucking cash in on. Trump is unbelievably fucking stupid. He says things, he makes claims, he but he doesn't ever fucking back them up. He doesn't ever fucking explain them. He doesn't ever say, "Oh, this is how we're going to do it." It just happens. And then with the tariffs, it's just tariffs, just blanket tariffs on just every single country in the fucking world. It's unimaginably stupid. It's unimaginably stupid. Okay, so the next thing and the next clip from this interview as well. It's almost mind-blowing. Because look, I know and I understand and I recognize the fact that Trump is like a 78-year-old man. And so, kind of like tech and like all of this sort of stuff, like it's not necessarily like his like forte, right? Like all of this kind of stuff only kind of happened in like the later kind of half of his life, and then that's even to say that he was like interested in it or wanting to get into it or anything else like this. But as I'm sure that you've all seen, this picture, Trump thinks that the M, the S, the 1, and the 3 are actual tattoos. He actually thinks that they're tattoos. Now, the marijuana leaf, the smiley, the cross, and the skull, they're tattoos. But this is not. This to every other person on planet Earth, this to everybody with an IQ above room temperature knows that that is quite clearly Photoshop. But does Trump know that it's Photoshop? Well, no, he does not. And we're going to look at how he does not.
And on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute.
Well, wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshop. So let me
That was Photoshop. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. I picked you, Terry. But you're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattooed.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture.
And you think it was Photoshop? Well,
here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS-13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine, sir.
Terry,
I want to get to Ukraine.
No. He had MS as clear as you can be, not interpreted.
So this is something that like people were saying, like at the very, very, very start of it, right? That the tattoos that I showed you, that they can be like interpreted maybe as MS-13. Now, the marijuana leaf, M for marijuana, and the smiley face, S for smiley, MS, that's okay. Yeah, you can kind of see where they're kind of coming from. It's the first letter of each word. But the cross and the skull, though, how does that represent 13? Like that's where that kind of fell apart. Like so, it's like 50% maybe can be interpreted as that. But like also, he's literally saying that it doesn't need to be interpreted. Now there's a little bit left of this, and he'll get like an awful lot more kind of clear on it. But just listen.
Why people no longer believe the news, because
when
it's
he was
fake
photographed
news.
in El Salvador, they aren't there. But let's just go on. They aren't there when he's in El Salvador.
They weren't there, but they're there now, right?
No,
but
they're in
now.
your picture.
Terry,
Ukraine, sir.
He's got MS-13 on his knuckles.
All right.
Okay?
Well, we'll take a look at that.
You do such a disservice.
We'll take a look at that,
Why don't you just say, yes, he does, and go on to something else?
It's contested.
Literally, man. Like, what do you want me to say? The man's brain is mush. It just doesn't work. His brain is fundamentally broken. Like it's literally broken. It's mush. It's putty. It's just confetti. The idea that, like, what can I possibly say? He unironically, let me just show you again. Believes that this is an actual, he believes it's an actual tattoo. He believes it's an actual tattoo, which is only in that one fucking example of that photo, by the way, as the interviewer correctly said. When you go on to like any other photo of him, of his knuckles when he was in El Salvador, they're not on, like, those letters and numbers are not on his hand. So how can you possibly say, like, but Trump, he's too stupid. He's too stupid. He just doesn't understand. He's so stupid. He's so stupid. Okay. Okay, the last thing, and I know that I'm saying the last thing, I haven't been live for that long, but look, I just wanted to kind of catch up on just a few things, put out a couple of clips, get the channel kind of a little bit kind of back up and, you know, running, so to speak. One of the latest things that, so like, Trump tweeted this kind of fairly like early on in the morning, a couple of days ago, but then the White House like official Twitter account retweeted this photo of Donald Trump as the Pope. I mean, like, way to lose every single one of your Catholic supporters. Like, Jesus Christ. As if his approval rating wasn't already fucking low enough. It's literally the lowest in like 80 years. And as I previously said, Trump is 78. He has the lowest approval rating of his entire presidency. His entire presidency. Like, yeah, it's like, just way to fucking just cast aside like an awful lot of your voters and your supporters, right? Just way to do that, I guess. Anyway, I don't even know what to fucking say. Like, we're living in like such like a unprecedented age, yeah, but like also just like, it's literally, I don't even know what to fucking say. I genuinely really don't. Like, I actually really don't. The 3rd of May and it already feels like 4 years have gone by. Just with the amount of stuff that this man has done in only the last like 3 or 4 months is just crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah. You know, fucking, as I said when Trump got elected, probably some fucking dark days ahead, but you know, as I also said, I'm going to be here kind of covering the next 4 years of it. So yeah, absolutely. Listen, look and listen. I'm going to call it there. I know it's only been about like a half an hour that I've been live, but I just want to just kind of do just quick couple of things just to kind of jump back into everything. Yeah, stay tuned and we'll be back with more kind of coverage and more TikTok debates and more all of that sort of stuff. Until then, like, subscribe, do all that YouTube bollocks, and I'll talk to you in the next one.